Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to another episode of Lucie's Inspiring Stories, where we celebrate women who rise through life's challenges with grace, purpose, and heart. I'm your host, Lucie Rosa-Stagi, and today's conversation is all about healing, worthiness, and the power to start again. And you know how I love and I talk about reinventing ourselves, right? Starting again is really very important. My guest, Hortencia Silva, turned one of life's deepest pains into a mission of hope, helping women embrace resilience, rediscover balance, and rise with confidence. So take a deep breath, settle in, and let's step into this soulful journey together. Hello, Hortensia. How are you?
Oh, good evening. Good evening. Thank you, Lucy, so much for inviting me to your space and your community. I am delighted to be here.
Thank you
Thank you.
so
It's an
very
honor.
much. Thank you. It's an honor for me to have you here. By the way, I just was wondering, and my audience knows that I'm an expat living in Mexico. Where are you coming in from?
New Jersey, Richmond,
New
New Jersey.
Jersey. Were you born
Yeah.
there?
No, I was born in the Dominican Republic,
Okay.
transplanted here at the age of 12. So
And you've
I
been
had,
there ever since.
and I've been in the New York, New Jersey area for over 50 years now.
Wow. Okay. So we could call you a New Jersey gal then, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I say that, Hortensia, because I lived in New York City, and so there was always a difference between New York City and New Jersey. And people from New Jersey wanted you to know that they were from New Jersey.
Yes, yes.
And
We're very territorial.
Hortensia, you've shared that losing your firstborn daughter really became a turning point that reshaped your life. Um, this is a theme that's not talked about enough as far as I'm concerned. Can you take us back to the moment and how it became the foundation of your mission today?
Sure. That moment, I was 21 years old,
Hmm.
my first child. I had the dream of being a mother, and the pregnancy became difficult towards the last trimester,
Hmm.
and I developed preeclampsia. And it the
Can you tell us what that is for
uh,
the audience?
yes, preeclampsia is a condition that usually pregnant women
Hmm.
have high blood pressure, they retain water,
Okay.
it really could be very dangerous for the mother and the child.
Okay.
And so I was hospitalized 3 times in the last trimester.
Okay.
And my pregnancy, the delivery was really late. It was 2 weeks late, later than usual. And the doctor should have done a C-section,
Hmm.
and he was invested in having me go through full term and natural childbirth. So, not knowing, my first pregnancy, not knowing what to expect, I trusted my doctor, I trusted the professional, and I was sucked in a whirlwind of, this traumatic experience, not knowing. I was reassured that the outcome, was going to be favorable, that my daughter was going to survive, but she didn't. So she passed away 2 days later. She was 2 weeks late. I was induced 3 times. The third time it didn't take, and they just let me. Um, I believe I remember I was in delivery for over 35 hours.
Holy cow. Oh my
I
God.
was exhausted. I felt the urge to push. And when I said, oh, I think I need to push, they told me, no, you haven't dilated. And they dismissed me. And no, you're just tired. You need to rest.
Oh
So
my,
at around 5 o'clock, I said, I am in pain. I feel like I need to push. I am going to push. No, 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 you can do that. They call the doctor and he says, oh, yes, the baby is coming. And I was rushed. But by the time the baby was delivered, she had swollen the first stool and the fluid, meconium fluid, and so her lungs were,
oh
yeah,
my God.
full of all that stuff, and they couldn't extract the fluid, and so she was flown in by helicopter to Albany, New York. I followed by ambulance, and it was, a series of unfortunate events that really, I was promised that my daughter was going to be well. And so when I went to the hospital, I went in believing that I was going to walk out of there with a baby.
Of course.
And getting there on a Thursday afternoon, I didn't have much time because I got there late and they needed to work on Nicole, put Nicole on the respirator and get the attention that she needed, give her the attention that she needed. So my time with her that day was very limited.
Mm.
So Friday morning, I got up. I was hopeful, happy that
Right.
my child was going to survive this unfortunate event. And it was a good day because she was responding to the medicine and things were going well. And so it was a great day to dream and to, think of
Right.
her coming home and what would she be and who would she, what school would she go to,
Dreams. Yeah.
all the good dreams that a first time mother would have for a child.
Mhm.
And then I went to bed at 9 o'clock. They told me you need to rest, go to your room, and tomorrow is another day. But around 3 o'clock in the morning, I woke up and I need to get to Nicole. And I had that sense of urgency, but
Mhm.
at the same time, I wanted to look pretty. I wanted to put on makeup, and time just escaped me. And by the time I got to her, I believe it was 6 o'clock in the morning.
Mhm.
And when I walked in, they said to the nurse said to me, "It hasn't been a good night."
Oh,
And I said, "What do you mean?" And sorry to tell you, but things are not looking good. Explain.
mhm.
And it's like when I was told you should get your husband here, and you should have your mom and the grandparents come over.
Right.
And I'm like, well, yeah, they're planning to come. It's Saturday. They should be on their way. They're
Yeah.
like, no, there's an urgency. They need to be here as soon as possible because we are losing Nicole. Whew. I was like, what? Excuse me?
Right.
What are you
What are you
saying?
talking about? Yeah.
We had such a good day. I was here making plans to take my baby home. No, we're losing Nico.
Oh my God.
Oof. And
What went through your head right then? I mean,
um, I I said, well, I need to call my husband now. And they said to me, your belongings have been moved to a private room. Why? We consider that you're going to need the time alone to process this.
this is
What
weird.
am I to process?
Yeah, exactly.
So not understanding where they were leading to.
Right.
I was in a daze. I couldn't even. comprehend the weight of what they were telling me,
Right.
and the urgency of everything. So I go to the room alone and I said to my husband, get here as soon as possible. So he's in New Jersey in Fort Lee, and he has to drive close to 3 hours to work.
Oh,
But this is at 6 o'clock. I'm probably 6:30 because immediately they said they need to get here as soon as possible
yeah.
because we don't know how soon we can keep her
And
on
it's
a
a good thing that
respiration.
you got up and you went to see her. I mean, what would oh my
But
God.
this is what we mothers, right? We mothers have that sense of like something is going on.
Yeah,
And I just know that when I woke up that I have to see her now. I have to see
yeah,
her now. But then I wanted to get pretty. I wanted to
yeah.
get to receive her so that she could see mom in a
Right.
pretty way. So my husband got there around 10, and my family, my parents follow like around 10:30, 11. And I remember praying and asking, not praying because at that time I this is what part of what this moment brought into my life. I was not connected to the knowledge. I knew that there was a God. I knew that there was something greater, but I was not connected.
Right.
So my aunt, who was a devout Christian, Catholic, always prayed. So I called her and I said, please, will you pray for Nicole's life?
Mhm.
I beg you. And when she learned that what was happening, she called my mom and she came to the hospital as well. And she was actually going to be Nicole's godmother.
Oh,
So for her, I mean, for the entire family, what transpired within the few hours was devastating.
how traumatic this whole thing is. So
Yes.
she did pass away then?
They waited for my parents to get there so that we can remove her from the respirator.
Did they explain? Did they tell you? Did you know
No,
what happened
The-
overnight?
no, no. It was that she didn't react to. There was very little. I don't know if it was because of my age that they didn't think that they needed to explain anything thoroughly, but I don't remember anybody sitting down with me and saying, "This is," we were hoping for B or C
Yeah,
or D, and we didn't even get to B. Or we
yeah,
tried all of these different methods and nothing worked. We tried this medication, nothing worked. It was just that her lungs, were not
strong enough.
capable
Mhm.
of
Right.
strong enough to get back to normal. And so
So this has really been the source of your healing. You know, when you say that healing isn't something we do after the pain, but we do it through it.
through the pain,
For your words, right?
we
What
did it through the
what does that process truly look like for the women you guide today?
the the interesting thing is that there are so many women who have gone through this,
Yes.
and they have even forgotten that they have lost their child through miscarriage,
Hmm.
that they had a stillborn baby,
Yeah.
that at the age of, let's say, that sad that they lost their child, the sad syndrome where they fell asleep and never woke up.
Never woke
So
up.
women don't they we tend to repress it to the point where we forget.
Hmm.
And that's why the Worthy Women Awakens, the journey, it's so that we need to remember. We
Right.
need to remember so that through the remembrance of our loved ones, we can honor them.
Right.
We can find the purpose of
Right.
our existence so that we can help other women
Right.
um, not only survive but thrive.
First of all, get through it and know that they're not the only ones. I mean, there's so many women who lose. You know, my sister was one. She almost lost her baby, and I was just with my sister these past 3 weeks, and we talked about it. And she finally had one boy, and but it was really very difficult. It was touch and go for months, and she could never have other children. And but even she went through that because it was touch and go. I mean, there's so many women that go through this suffering, and they need to know that they're not alone, that there are people like you who are there to help. uh, you know I don't know. I mean, it's you have your program, Worthy Women Journey.
Mhm.
Worthy Women Journey. How did you come up with that name? What does worthiness really mean to you, Hortensia? And how can women begin to reconnect, after a loss or a transition like that? I mean, how did you do it?
Well, the worthy comes to it just came out of the realization that for many years I thought that I was not worthy,
Oh, oh my
not
God.
worthy to be a mother,
Blame- Oh my God, you just blamed yourself, did you? Oh my God.
not worthy to have a life. Because that day when I was told that, and I was waiting for my family to get to the hospital and my husband,
Yeah.
I was left alone, which was probably the wrong thing to do as professionals. Not blaming anybody, but it was probably not the right thing to do. I was going to take my life.
Oh, well, I can believe, yeah.
I was
Anybody.
ready. I was. I walked to the window. I was gonna jump from the window, and then this is where the spiritual part of this healing process begins. I heard a voice that said, "Don't do it,"
Wow.
and that energy pulled me away from the window.
Mhm.
And I remember being led to my bed, and I sat down, and I said, "Why not do it? Why don't do it?
You were talking to yourself. The little angel was telling you one thing, and you were talking. Yeah.
Why not do it? I
Yeah.
don't have anything to live for.
Yeah.
My life is done." Have you ever gone through something terrible and said, "That's it. This is the end of my life"?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? We all go through,
Yeah. I've been there, seen that. Yeah. Felt that too.
and we think that there we have nothing more to give. We
Right.
think that there's nothing more ahead. That's this is the end, and I was going to end it.
Well,
And
I'm so glad you didn't.
yeah, well,
There's so many women today who are glad you didn't,
yes,
because
yes.
you had a mission. So that little voice was telling you, no, no.
No, no, don't go that route.
Mhm.
And then that right then and there, I said, I need to know who you are. I need to, if you don't want me to do this, I need to find you. And that started my journey. That started my spiritual journey.
Mhm.
And I think that parallel, in a parallel um, way, as I was seeking spiritual guidance,
Right.
I was feeling not worthy,
Mhm.
and I developed an eating disorder.
Wow.
I was seeking truth, and then I was killing myself
Right.
because I wasn't worthy.
And there's so many women, I'm sure there are men also feeling that way. And, thank God that there is intuition. Thank God that there are those little voices in us that lead us the other way and say, no, you
Amen.
have a greater job. Thank God that Louise Hay came into your life. I know
Yes.
that you've been deeply influenced by her. She wrote a book, You Can Heal Your Life. That must have been a great help to you. Can you tell me how maybe that book shaped your approach to your emotional and physical healing?
Well, Louise Hay was very big on affirmations,
Yeah. So it's a
getting,
start mindset.
yeah, the mindset,
Mindset.
change the file, change your thoughts, and your thoughts create your reality.
Right.
And all of that, I started listening to her. I bought so many of her books. I I started to dig deep into, what is this lady saying? And it resonated so much at a very deep level,
Mhm.
spiritual level, of what I needed, of that voice, right? That
Right.
I heard. I was committed to find out who that voice was. And then I find this lady with a beautiful voice, because she had an amazing voice.
She did have an amazing voice.
And listening to her audios, and her voice, and so
Soothing.
loving and so giving and
Yeah.
so, it's like having her voice was like having arms wrapped around you,
Right.
right? So that brought comfort and hope.
Yeah, I remember Louise Hay was one of my early mentors too, and I just would have her book next to my bed, and so it was like a Bible for me. And so, and yes, and I had the same feeling. She was a very spiritual. I mean, she knew things. So I know that her intuition talked a lot to her, but she came from the spirit, and it's hard to explain.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that Joe Dispenza also influenced you, but she was a different than Joe Dispenza,
Very different.
and
Very
and
different.
and I think
Wayne
Wayne
Dyer.
Dyer also was another person who influenced you. Um, that's so, you know, let's go back to mindset because we're talking about we're in a place that we think that we can't get out of. Obviously we have to be open. You heard that voice, and you listened to the voice, obviously, because you didn't jump out the window, and then you must have been open. I don't How did Louise Hay come to you?
She came to me because I didn't grow up with my parents.
Okay.
Parents left 5 children in the Dominican Republic, and they came to the U.S. Um, really looking for political asylum. My parents were involved in the revolution in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
Things got really ugly. My father was almost killed. At that time, the government was handing out visas for the troublemakers. We
Yeah.
need them out of here. Take
Yeah.
a visa, leave. So
Right.
they were part of that movement where, let's clean the slate and get these people out of here. So
Mhm.
they came to the U.S. and they couldn't bring us because we didn't have.
That had to be such a hard decision for your parents. Oh my
It
God.
was.
And for you to see your parents leave, and you
I
knew
was
they had to,
five.
otherwise
I
they
was
would.
5, so I don't remember them leaving. I just remember waking up in a different house. So trying to heal that trauma, because I knew that it was very
Yeah.
big, and
Yeah.
it was affecting me. Um, Not knowing that the most recent trauma was very vivid. I tried to learn how to parent myself because I didn't
Mhm.
have my parents. I
Right.
lived with relatives, and through all those self-help books in the 80s that were so abundant, and if everybody was writing about self-help books,
Yeah.
in one of those help books she was mentioned, and I was like, oh, Louise Hay. And he's like, like, oh, a bell rang. i
Yeah.
need to I need to get to know this lady. I need
Right.
to get her books. So I did, and then she talked about Wayne Dyer, and it's like a chain.
Yeah, they were one right after the other. You're right. It was
Yeah,
like a chain. It
yeah,
was, and
yeah, yeah.
you get into the flow of these self-help
Right.
people and self-help books, but they're all, I mean, they're all healers in such a way, and they don't resonate with everybody. Just like Louise Hay resonated more with you than maybe a Joe Dispenza, but at that time at least,
Yeah.
and we go through an evolution, don't we?
Yes, we do.
We
We
go
do.
through an evolution of different people, and it never stops. I don't think
Hmm.
it ever stops.
Yeah,
Oh
no.
my God.
It's and it's so good to now back to Louise Hayes,
Mhm,
because I offer affirmations to my worthy women journey.
mhm.
Every morning I have a group, and I write um affirmations, and a lot of her affirmations are so nourishing,
They are. Yeah,
it's like food for the soul.
right.
And coming from an eating disorder, hating my body, hating myself, telling myself as I was very active into either anorexia or
Mhm.
bulimia, I hate you, B, the B word,
Yeah, yeah,
constantly, and trying to find my worth,
yeah.
you
In
know,
all the wrong places, you know,
in all the wrong
in all
places.
the wrong places. Can you maybe we could go from a story from one of your clients, or maybe from your own experience, that captures what it means to rise. I mean, I can see that you rise through the pain as you're talking about your situation. It's still so very painful, but I could even feel that you rose through that pain.
Mhm.
Could you tell us a story of maybe one of your clients that beautifully captures what it means to rise through pain rather than in spite of it?
Well, I had a group of women that I coached for a year,
Hmm.
and there's someone that comes right to mind. She has, through trauma, has suffered with depression, anxiety, and it all comes to worth. Who am I?
Yeah,
Understanding our value, remembering that we are worthy, remembering who we are, the essence of our soul, and our purpose,
right.
right, to be here. So this person has, faced downs and highs, right, the lows and the valleys and the highs, right.
Hmm.
So she always, we're still in contact, and from time to time she tells me, I learned so much from you, because when I'm in those lows, I remember the mantras, I remember the tools.
The tools. Yeah.
I had them create a physical toolkit for healing. They were able to, wooden box, they put jewels, they put stickers, and with love, and I am peace, I am, all the mantras or affirmations that will make it their own,
Yeah.
that will be soothing, and that they can connect to it. And I had them write um, affirmation cards, put them in the toolkit.
Mhm.
And from time to time, when you're having a bad day, shuffle those cards and pull one up.
That's what
And
I
you,
that's what I used to do with Louise Hay. Sometimes open the just open the book to some, it's a message I needed.
and it's so telling because it will always be something that you need.
Yeah.
And she tells me from time to time, when I go to that toolbox, I always find the answer.
It's just so amazing to me that if you trust the process, then it will
Yeah.
happen. Your programs, I want to talk about your programs because it's so important. You offer them in both English and Spanish, I believe, right?
Yes, yes. I am fully bilingual, and
Which
so I
is,
have groups in Spanish and groups in English.
wow. So, how has that expanded your mission and the women you serve?
That has given me um, expanded my purpose. I'm not limited to one language.
Right.
It gives me great joy to be able to use my mother tongue,
Yeah.
to be able to help Latinas in that are so drowning in pain,
Yeah.
so overwhelmed with details and day to day trivial stuff
Hmm.
that it's trivial when we are looking from the outside looking in. Oh, it's trivial. But when you're in it, it's a life and death. It's like the end all. It would be like, oh my goodness, the world is coming to an end. I'm the only one suffering.
That's why it's good. That's why it's good to have a community. That's why it's good to
Yes,
have a coach. That's why it's good to have
yes,
these self help books. And we could talk about your book because you have a book called Ascend Beyond Limit, right? Could we
yes,
could,
yes.
could we
That's
talk a little bit about that too at
sure.
this point?
Yes, that is a collaboration with 12. I'm one of 12 authors, and we all share our stories of trials, tribulations, and triumph. Because the hero story is that when you go through hell, you come out on the other side triumphant,
Hmm.
and now as a purpose, right? If you really follow your purpose, you are now able
Yeah.
to help and lift someone up, help someone rise to
Right.
their occasion, to be purposeful.
So I just want to take this minute to pause and tell my audience that over here to my right, to you, the left, there are CTA buttons. I call them call to action buttons. So you're listening to Hortencia now. You know what she's been through. You know what kind of program she has. You know that she is bilingual. That if you know anybody in either language, English or Spanish, they can be helped by Hortencia, who is a wonderful coach. If you want to connect with her, click that middle button where it says Let's Connect. It'll take you to her Facebook group. And you can do that while we're talking. All right. It will not take you away from where you are. It'll just open up another page. And you should know that if you're watching the replay, these buttons are very alive. And also, if you want to know more about her book, Ascend Beyond Limits, if you click the bottom button, it will take you to Amazon because that is where you can purchase the book. So, if a woman is listening today um, and feels lost or disconnected after a life transition, what's one small but maybe powerful step? I have goosebumps after listening to your story. Let me tell you, it's taken me a while to formulate my words here. What's one step or one small but powerful step that she could take maybe right now to begin her worthy journey, her own worthy journey? Because I'm going to put worthy in there because,
Yes, it's worthy.
yeah,
Once we discover and remember that we are worthy, it is a worthy journey. So one thing that they can do is connect to my community.
For one thing.
I have a WhatsApp community group called the Worthy Journey,
Mhm.
because I made it open to men, right? They also can use the affirmation, the self-care, the journal prompts that I offered. So that's a daily community that I have, and I get good responses from people that are they just wake up and they're waiting for my affirmation of the day. Um, Another thing that I liked for women who are going through this very difficult moment, to take one moment to breathe,
Mhm.
to center themselves,
Right.
to place their hands in the heart, breathe in and let it all out.
Yeah.
And that's a 1 minute meditation. And let me tell you, 1 minute could be very fast, right? If we have that mindset, and 1 minute could be eternal,
Right.
because you connect at such a level that it's delicious. In 1 minute, will give you the energy, refresh your brain, refresh your soul, so that you could take that next breath.
Change your thought.
Yes,
Yeah.
change your thoughts, so that you could take that next
Next
breath with
breath. Mhm.
purpose. With
Right.
purpose. Yeah.
Oh my God, Hortensia. It's so important to have a morning routine. I'm glad that you have these affirmations every day, and that some people that can be part of their routine. I mean, when I was away for 3 weeks in Canada visiting my sister, I fell out of my routine, and I can't tell you how dis- discombobulated I was. Because I think I get up, I have this routine, but it gets me in the right state of mind. It puts me in peak state so that I can do the work that I love to do, just like you, right? We're impacting people's lives, we're making a difference, we're serving here. My
Yeah.
God, it's so important to have that mindset, that and it's part of the routine also. Can you think of anything else? First of all, I want to make sure that I haven't missed anything with you. Is there anything that we have not discussed here so far that perhaps you'd like to mention to the audience that you deem very necessary in the healing process?
Well, in trying to heal myself, I've learned many tools,
Hmm.
healing tools. Came across, I did Dan yoga, which is healing meditation through movement. I learned Reiki. I've learned so many wonderful techniques. And so, what I like, I taught my group a toolkit. I have developed a toolkit of healing modalities
Hmm.
that, not that you use every day, all of them, but there is a modality, a different modality for a phase in your life, a time, specific time in your life. And
Hmm.
to have those tools will provide you the necessary, for lack of a better word, tool equipment
Right.
that can put you back on, align you to your soul, to your higher self, so that you can be the person that you want to be, rise to the occasion, and service everyone around you. Because when we are good, when we feel good in our skin, that's contagious.
It is.
People notice.
Yeah.
People say how beautiful you are. You could be wearing
You know,
that, something that you don't think that is so appealing, but you just your radiance
right. Right. Absolutely.
will show, up, and people, it's a magnet. We are magnetic fields. We are a magnet. And
Hmm.
so what I see in you, right, the mirror, my
Hmm.
my teacher Louis Hay,
Louise, hey, look in that mirror.
look in the mirror. If I see beauty in you, guess what? it's because I see it in myself,
Wow.
right?
Yeah. It's so powerful. That is so
And
powerful.
vice versa.
Yeah.
If it's anger, if it's hate, if we are mirrors, and we mirror each other. So I rather tell people they are beautiful because I'm beautiful.
Right, exactly. Absolutely. And we're worthy of all this.
And we are so worthy of it. So
What
worthy.
else is in your toolbox? Can you tell us? I mean, I know that you know you do belong. Yeah. Tell us
Yeah.
about.
Well, I have created an e-commerce store
Okay.
where I believe in the trilogy, mind, body, spirit.
Okay.
And when we feed those three, we are strong.
Yep.
So my e-commerce store is called Strong Beyond Fit.
Okay.
You don't just want to have a fit body, you want to be strong in all three bodies, spiritually, physically, mentally.
Strong beyond.
Beyondfit.com. That's my store, is coming soon. It's not live yet.
Okay.
Then under that, nourishing the body, I started using live wave patches. It's a technology that helps you regenerate your cells.
Right.
People spend thousands of dollars on stem cells.
Yep.
This is a patch that is not chemical, it's not drugs. It works with your
Non-invasive. Yeah.
invasive.
Hmm.
And listen, if you have a little wrinkle and you start wearing it and people start telling you, oh, you lost weight, oh, you look younger, and you're like, oh, it's working. The patches are working. So there are so many tools available, and I'm a magnet. I want to learn all the things that can make me feel better, that can make me stronger, so that I can service my community, so that
Absolutely.
I could be that radiant sunlight that can provide the sunshine, right? We all love the
Absolutely.
sunshine. Good energy, good energy.
Oh, but, I love your message. It's such a gift. It reminds us really that healing is not a destination, but it's a journey. Towards rediscovering our worth, as you say, and our purpose.
Yeah, that's why it's the worthy women journey.
Yeah. Well, there you have it, folks. Worthy Women Journey. You can connect with Hortencia at Worthy Women Journey or on Facebook. You can click that CTA button, call to action button in the middle where it says let's connect. And you can connect with her easily there. And of course, if you're interested in the book, The Ascend Beyond Limit, you can click the lower CTA button and get that book at Amazon. So I just want to say to everybody listening, I want you to take Hortensia's wisdom to heart. I want you to start small. I want you to embrace your worth. And I want you to take courageous steps toward your purpose. So, Hortensia, I want to give you the last opportunity to speak to the audience and to me.
Well, it's been an honor to be here. Thank you, Lucy, again. I am here as a servant. I listened to that voice. I did my research. It's been a rough journey, but it has been a worthy journey. And so I want to provide the same healing and walk alongside women who are having a tough time dealing with whatever loss. It could be a job, it could be moving to another city, it
Yep,
could be the loss of a loved one. Uh, we have losses come in all packages, right? So,
absolutely. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, and no loss is too big or too small. It's our emotions that we need to
absolutely.
put into place and so that we can rise to the better occasion. So I'm delighted to be here. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you, Hortencia. And I want to thank you, my folks, for joining us for this wonderful conversation with Hortencia Silva. You know, her story reminds us that healing isn't the end of the journey, it's the doorway to purpose. So, if today's episode touched your heart, please share it with another woman who might need this message. And remember, no matter what occasion you're in, you are worthy. You are resilient, and your story still has chapters yet to shine. So,
Amen.
what you do, we're on the same wavelength for
Yeah.
sure. So, until next time, I'm Lucie Rosa-Stagi, reminding you to keep rising and keep inspiring. So, bye for now.
Thank you. Mwah. All the best.